It's been almost 3 years since we began our adventure in securing the right-of-way for our desert property through the BLM. Finally, the process is finished. This is the account of what happened and what to look for if you're doing the same thing. I don't want you to be surprised like we were. Hello everyone and welcome to Suburban Stone Age. Today we're going to wrap up part 3 of our series on getting the right-of-way from the Bureau of Land Management. It seems simple, right? The concept was simple. We wanted to secure the right-of-way over public lands to control access to our property. Our desert acreage is accessed by dirt roads that cross BLM land. Although chances are slim that we'd have our access blocked per se, we would also not be able to legally grade the road should it be damaged by flash floods either. And since that has already happened, the thought was that it was better to be safe than sorry and obtain the official right-of-way. Here's how it works. Normally, larger projects, think giant solar farms and wind farms, that want access to public lands must apply for a right-of-way. But it can be done by anybody who's willing to pay the fees. The first step is to apply. You can find the application here. It is pretty detailed, so get ready to focus on and explain exactly what you want to do in your application. There will be a fee just for the BLM to consider your application called the processing fee. Our processing fee was around $1,200, paid in full, upfront, with no guarantee that we'd get the permit. Once your application and processing fee has been received and reviewed, BLM sends people out there to make sure your request isn't trampling on important cultural or environmental resources, among other things. There is another fee you'll need to pay for this, called the monitoring fee. It is, in our case, a one-time non-refundable fee, again, with no guarantee you'll be granted the permit. Finally, if you are granted the permit, you'll need to pay the final rental fee. I thought for sure this was the best part, seeing that rent was only going to be about $120 per year. But no, the surprise was that BLM wanted 10 years' rent paid in advance, something I had not understood from reading the paperwork. So there was a final $1,200 surprise that we had to pay in order to complete the deal. Because we had already invested so much time and money into this project, we found a way to pay the unexpected and expensive rental fee. Be aware, BLM won't be able to negotiate a payment plan with you if you don't have the money up front. How long did the process take? Our project was unique in that it launched during the early days of the COVID-19 pandemic. I submitted the application in April-ish of 2020, and it wasn't until May 2020 that it was processed along with my processing fee. In May of 2020, I received a confirmation from BLM and was told that the next step would be to get personnel out there for the next on-site inspection. But then nothing happened for many months. Understandably, the world was in turmoil, so I patiently waited until October. 5 months had gone by with no contact from BLM, so I phoned to check the status. I was told that they would have someone out there very soon to do the inspection. It was now May 2021 with no further updates from the BLM, including the signed agreement I was desperately starting to look for. I phoned the office again, looking for an update, and left a voicemail. Within a week, I received a packet in the mail that contained my granted right-of-way paperwork. But it also contained a bill for monitoring fees and the first 10 years' rent, totaling about another $2,400. The process took about a year and a half to complete. I'm not sure if COVID-19 delayed the project, but it was not fast. Was it worth it? Was all the time and money invested worth it? The jury is still out. On the one hand, as a private citizen, absorbing these costs in bulk and at unexpected times was definitely a huge financial burden. On the other hand, the reasons I began this project are still valid. I need to be able to modify public land and ensure I have legal access to my property no matter what. I hated to part with the money, but the dollars have been spent and that pain will fade. What won't fade is the 30-year window I have to control access to my land and to modify it, of which I plan to take full advantage, both for access and for watershed purposes. All in all, I feel it will be worth it in the fullness of time. But maybe not for everybody. I hope this information gives you insight into the right-of-way process for BLM, the expenses involved, the pros and cons. Please leave a comment if you have any questions, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on our adventures in the Mojave Desert. Thanks. Bye.